From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are following at this hour. Residents in Kentucky and Missouri sifted through damage in tornado-stricken neighborhoods and cleared debris Sunday after severe storms swept through parts of the Midwest and South and killed more than 24 people. Kentucky was hardest hit as a devastating tornado damaged hundreds of homes, tossed vehicles, and left many homeless. At least 18 people were killed, most of them in southeastern Laurel County. 10 more people were critically injured, with state leaders saying the death toll could still rise. We are hard at work this morning addressing the tragic damage and deaths caused by severe weather, Governor Andrew Beshear posted on X Sunday morning. We are securing emergency housing options and looking into sites for intermediate housing. The latest Kentucky storms were part of a weather system Friday that killed 7 in Missouri and 2 in northern Virginia, authorities said. The system also spawned tornadoes in Wisconsin, brought punishing heat to Texas, and temporarily enveloped parts of Illinois, including Chicago, in a pall of dust on an otherwise sunny day. In a related story, as destructive and deadly tornadoes bared down on Kentucky, National Weather Service officials triaged to provide life-saving forecasts and warnings amid federal staffing cuts. Most of the deaths were concentrated in the eastern part of the state, which is served by the Weather Service's Jackson, Kentucky Forecast Office. The office is one of 4 forecast offices that no longer has overnight staffing because of a shortage of meteorologists, according to Tom Fahey, legislative director for the Weather Service Employees Union. Hundreds have left the agency amid cuts ordered by the Trump administration's Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk, to slash the cost and size of the federal government. So let me break this down. The Trump regime inflicts massive cuts at the start of tornado season. The National Weather Service loses meteorologists and regional offices shut down overnight, and people end up dead because no humans were around to issue tornado warnings. Is this making America great? How many more tornadoes need to kill people before the U.S. is great again? And for our friends listening along the eastern seaboard, Captain Ed Enos makes his living as a harbor pilot in Hawaii, clambering aboard arriving ships in the pre-dawn hours and guiding them into port. His world revolves around wind speeds, current strength, and wave swells. When Enos is bobbing in dangerous waters in the dark, his cell phone is his lifeline. With a few taps, he can access the integrated ocean observing system and pull up the data needed to guide what are essentially floating warehouses safely to the dock. But maybe not for much longer. President Donald Trump wants to eliminate all federal funding for the observing system's regional operations. Scientists say the cuts could mean the end of efforts to gather real-time data crucial to navigating treacherous harbors, plotting tsunami escape routes, and predicting hurricane intensity. And if it can happen in the Pacific, it can happen in the Atlantic. It's the last thing you should be shutting down, Enos said. There's no money wasted. Right at a time when we should be getting more money to do more work to benefit the public, they want to turn things off. That's the wrong strategy at the wrong time for the wrong reasons. So, when the tropical storms and hurricanes slam into the states from North Carolina to Texas, don't say that we didn't try to warn you. And if that's not enough, the severity of the harmful algae blooms in the western basin of Lake Erie is projected to be in the mild to moderate range this year, according to the National Centers for Coastal Ocean Science. The prediction is for a bloom in the 2.5 to 4.5 range, which is milder than last year's moderate prediction of 4.5 to 6 on the severity index. The actual harmful algal bloom that occurred last year proved to be moderately severe, 6.6 on the index based on 30 peak days. A more comprehensive algae bloom forecast for the coming season will be issued on June 26th. The blue-green algae blooms, which can produce a toxin dangerous to humans and animals, are primarily a problem in the warmer waters of the Western Basin. The bloom in 2014 threatened the city of Toledo's water supply. The primary contributor to the formation of the algae blooms is phosphorus that runs off from farm fields and enters the Maumee River before flowing into Lake Erie. The state of Ohio has a program in place called H2 Ohio that provides financial help to farmers who agree to improve their management practices and to minimize runoff. Environmentalists, however, say the voluntary program has not worked well enough to meet phosphorus reduction levels established by Ohio, Michigan, and Canada. While it is great that Ohio provides financial help to farmers who agree to improve their management practices and minimize runoff, when the next moderate to severe algae bloom strikes, and it will, who is going to provide drinking water for people living in Toledo or any other location along Lake Erie that relies on the lake for drinking water? That can include places like the city of Erie here in Pennsylvania. How many people will die because of budget cuts in the name of reducing waste, fraud, and abuse? That's the news at this hour. Pennsylvania's primary election day is Tuesday. Polls are open from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. Remember to vote. Up next, the Meadville area weather forecast, right here on PEP Radio.